It's time for Who Watch, Time and Relative Blackness in Space.
The box.
Hi everyone, it's Connie and Robin coming to you live from the Time Vortex. Today we're discussing episode 8 of Doctor Who Season 12, The Haunting of Villa Diodati. In this episode, Mary Shelley gets some major inspiration to invent a whole new genre. The Doctor does what she wasn't supposed to, and the flat team structure isn't so flat anymore.
Yeah, thoughts. So this was written by Maxine Alderton and directed by Emma Sullivan, and so yay women,
yay ladies,
yay ladies, time ladies,
like it should, and as it should be for an episode about a famous woman writer. That's the word. Part
of me was like, F you, because I have never read Frankenstein, because I know me.
Yeah,
I was not interested in going to a haunting, and as the episode went on, I was like, you know what, F y'all. Why couldn't we go see Charlotte Bronte or Jane Austen?
Right.
Those are some badass ladies.
Yeah.
Doing badass things.
Yeah,
the Cybermen can come in there.
Yeah, they can have some Cybermen.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then in the Slack, I wasn't able to really be in the Who Watch channel because I watched it way later.
Yeah,
the All-Star game was also on, so y'all were tripping. Y'all were tripping. We were
watching Twitches.
We were doing a live tweeted trip of Twitches, which I quit. Was like, you know what? Twitches isn't doing it for me the way that I know the All-Star game will.
Fair.
But someone had brought up the point in the Slack that they wish we wouldn't have gone back to the 1800s. Why couldn't we go to the 80s or the 90s or something like that? And then I started to think about Bridget Jones' Diary.
Okay.
Which is still not a horror.
No.
Who I am as a person.
Right.
But the novel or the book, it's a diary, but it was a novel.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
It was an epistolatory novel or whatever, because it's a diary entries. It was in 1996. That is 2006, 2016. 24 years ago. It passed. Past.
Yeah.
And
the real past.
The real past. It's still, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we could have. And I'm, as someone who really does the romance, Regency era stuff, and I'm gonna stop saying that I really like Regency era. I like Jane Austen.
You like Jane Austen,
Jane Eyre.
Yeah. You like the James.
I don't even like a lot of the other Bronte stuff because Wuthering Heights can suck it. But I like those things. So I do think that if I was on the TARDIS with the Doctor, I would be like, yeah, let's go see Mr. Darcy.
Right.
But I also think that because this is a television show, it would have been cool to go to a different time.
We're always in the 1800s, always.
Yeah, I think the earliest historical that we've done is Agatha Christie. And that was in the 20s.
You mean latest?
Latest.
Yeah.
Historical, yeah.
Because I was they've been to the beginning of the creation of the earth.
Right. No, but I mean to meet a historical figure. I think it's Agatha Christie.
I mean, World War II and the 50s, that 50s episode with Rose and the TVs? I think it was the TVs.
Yeah, but we didn't meet a historical figure.
Sure. Right. Mm-hmm.
You know?
So World War II, Noor and them.
Yeah.
That counts. I'm sure there's some other World War II. Hitler. I was there's someone I'm missing.
Yeah, we've been done Hitler.
We killed Hitler.
Yeah. a couple times.
But anytime we've been after World War II, it is rarely like a well-known historical character.
Yeah, like even
and it's also not
Hawkins.
often. Like the amount of times we've been to the 1800s versus been to anywhere after the 1950s is like outweighed.
Yeah, and I feel like even, you know what would be great now that I'm thinking about it, and we should move on, because this could just turn into Who Watch, all the places we should go.
Yes.
Like
Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, like the late 70s, early 80s punk scene. Like the Clash, and the Sex Pistols.
Really just the fits.
Going to see Vivienne Westwood.
Here for the fits,
like,
man.
The fits, but also like those people.
Right. That'd be cool.
You know what I mean? Like Sid and Nancy. That would be fun.
I wonder if there's a reason they haven't got... Well, I guess they haven't gone
because,
past...
a lot of those people still alive.
Yeah, and I think they haven't gone past, like, the creation of the show.
Oh.
And, you know, we could be wrong. There's a steel trap listening who will be able to tell us what we've missed. But unless it's, like, set in the present because it was, like, written and produced in that time, I'm having a hard time remembering. And if it has happened, it still is not a lot. Considering how often we've gone to the 1800s, we could have gone to the 80s just as much, or the 70s or whatever. So yeah, I did read Frankenstein in college. I feel like I liked it more than I expected to. Did I finish it? I don't remember. Did I finish any books that I had to read for school? Doubtful. But yeah.
I finished Harry Potter like quickly.
Yeah, like I read those, but no one assigned them to me. I was assigned
Harry Potter.
If they had assigned me Harry Potter, oh man, it would have been over. My already good English grade would have been surplus.
Yeah. I took a bestsellers in America class from like after 1920 or something like that. It was literally a syllabus of bangers. Like I was like the reason why I took the class, it was like Harry Potter, Nancy Drew, The Hardy Boys. I got to read Peyton Place and The Godfather. Oh. I read all of those books. I've never been in an English class in which I was on it. I was like, this is my shit.
For this class that I read Frankenstein for, I didn't feel quite that way, but it was supposed to be that way because it was a monsters and popular culture class. And I did get to write my final presentation about Angel, the series. So vampires on Angel. But we read Frankenstein and Dracula, Jekyll and Hyde. All of those. I want to say Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh, hell no.
I didn't really like that one. I don't really mess with aliens outside of Doctor Who that much. But yeah, so that was what the class was. And, you know, I don't remember what we talked about. It was a long time ago now. Wow, it was 10 years ago. That's crazy. But I do remember liking Frankenstein more than I thought I would. But yeah, it's just interesting. The Cyberman makes sense for how they put it all together in terms of how it inspired her. Also without overly being and now I'm writing Frankenstein. They didn't really put the nail on the head at the end, which was good. They kind of focused on Percy and his writing and stuff. I think overall it was really, the spooky wasn't for me. But
I will say that I did like this element of spooky if it was also not as visually spooky, but I do like the idea of going somewhere and coming in a circle, them not being able to get to the top floor, or I almost called him Bradley. His mom named him Bradley. I'm gonna call him Bradley. Graham being I'm going around in circles here, not being able to find their way, but not realizing it until you've already gone. I like that. That's about as.
This episode was way spookier than even reading Frankenstein was for me in college. I was just oh, it's just some letters. And Frankenstein's monster's creepy, but it's not I don't remember it being spooky, but I also could just be blocking out. And also just the way it's written is just this is what happened today. And the monster has feelings. So, I think it was a cool way to tie in the Cyberman story and also Frankenstein story. But it's just too many characters again. I was just like, I am confusing all these pale white people, and I'm supposed to know who they are.
We did not need the cousin, Claire Claremont.
Like, I get it.
I mean, all of those people were in...
Right, they were together, like, literally.
They were there. That was the point.
They made up a whole baby. Like, William does not exist at the time that they put this William baby in it. She had a kid at the time, but it was a girl. William came later. I think all of them except for her last one. She had like 4 kids, and because it's the 1800s, only one of them maybe survived till adulthood. So William wasn't even one of the ones that survived. So I was just like, y'all made up a whole baby. So why don't y'all just cut some of these characters out?
Yeah, like the nurse.
Dr. Polidori, the Fletcher.
Dr. Polidori was there. He's like a real person.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like,
But yeah, we could have...
They still could have switched some stuff around since they switched it around anyway. Be like, oh, well, that's weird that he's not here. He's supposed to be here on this epic night when she comes up with this story. But I was just getting them all confused. I was just like, is that Claire or is that Mary? I don't know. But I was also tired when I watched it.
Yeah,
to be honest.
We also I don't think we spent that much, like, quality time with Mary.
Right, because there are so many other people.
Yeah, and I do think, there's a Twitter thread out there, and then I have to find it again, but someone goes, through Lord Byron's, like, life, and, like, the man was... Wild. So I was excited that we got to, like...
No one snogged Byron.
No one snogged Lord Byron. I was excited that he was, like, a main character.
Yeah.
And all of the, like, scenes with him I thought were great.
Yeah.
Like, I liked...
13 was gonna murder him.
13 was, like, literally... He was giving her eyes, and she was like, if you do not stop it, no.
In front of one of your other women, like, come on, bro. That's just how he rolls.
And flirting with her by telling her that the other girl couldn't keep her hands off. Like, this is like the height of, like...
Your idea of romance.
Yes, like, restraint and
hands almost
and
touching.
Quiet looks. And he,
ankles
like...
showing.
Girl had to have it, so, I had to give it to her. Shocking.
Byron was great to have. I get it. There are so many people that were literally key to this, like, epic night, but they changed so much anyway. They could have cut 1 or 2. Like, Claire could have been off in another room. The Dr. Polidori, we didn't really need him. They could have done something to excise some of it. But I did appreciate that despite having so many characters, we actually got, like, fam stuff, and I'm just like, this is what I wanted all along. They didn't have, like, major development or storylines, but we got some lines that are about their personal lives, and I was just like, this is all I needed. And you've been denying me all season.
And that's the thing, is, like, with the fam and, like, with the companions, not every episode needs to be, like, a major storyline for them.
Of course not.
We need moments where we actually get to know who they are. Like, one of my favorite Donna episodes is Turn Left, which I know a lot of people don't. And it's a major storyline surrounding her and her choices.
Yeah.
But, like, but that also comes later in the season, and a lot of the earlier stuff, like, Fires of Pompeii is not about Donna, but we get a sense of what Donna is about, like, very quickly through these, like, smaller moments.
And, like, she reveals things about herself that we didn't know before.
Yeah.
In like, small moments.
Yes. And, like, that we got that with Yaz this week, and I was like...
We out here. We out here! We'll get to it.
I had to, like, pause it. I was like, I'm not even done, but let me go into the Slack real quick, because what is this happening?
Same. I was just like, did they really?
I think this is happening, guys.
It must be. It's got to be happening.
It's got to be happening.
We'll talk about it later.
I'm here for it.
We'll get to it. But fun fact that I did not remember, but should have. Lord Byron is Ada Lovelace's dad, so that ties into Spyfall, because Lord Byron was out here. Man, Lord Byron was a Rolling Stone. I forgot about that.
I also loved. I remembered that because of this thread. This thread like happened relatively recently. I can like try to find it. I did remember that. I love these moments in which like in which the doctor breaks her own rules. But in a way in which she's not like, sometimes the doctor breaks their rules purposefully. Like what happens is like the climax of this episode, and they're like, okay, the only way to fix problem A is to start problem B, and like I know it's against the rules, but
this is where we at.
This is where we at. This time it just felt like she got excited and forgot. Like she was like, oh yeah, and me and Ada were talking about that thing, and he was like,
who?
How do you talking to a baby? Huh?
Yeah.
Because like at this point where they are, Ada is like 7 maybe. She's like a child.
Yeah. And it's funny because 13 mentions to Ada that she's like hung out with her dad. So I don't know if that's from like a previous story or just like a noodle incident that they threw in and then came back to it later, because 13 wouldn't know about it now.
Yeah.
You know, so I wonder, or, you know, she could meet up with him later in his life or whatever. So, and that happens all the time. So I just wonder which it is.
Yeah, I wonder if like a different.
But also stop telling him.
Yeah, but like, stop it. Oh, I knew your father. How?
Girl,
Sam, how?
Girl, stop.
What?
You're not supposed to be talking about this stuff.
Talking about this stuff. Every time they mention like, oh yeah, I married the queen, I snogged the queen, like.
That's another example of the doctor breaking their own rules. Don't talk about don't mention Frankenstein, don't snog Lord Byron. That later part was never going to happen. But
yeah.
The first part, she was just like, you want to maybe write a spooky story for me? Thanks. No? I don't know. Dang it.
I mean, she wanted to get them back on track. They were
She was trying. She was like, they dancing, and I don't have time for this.
This is not what is supposed to be going on.
Fun and games. No.
We have an hour.
Spooky madness. It is a dark and stormy night. Where is the dark and the stormy?
You just add a little ginger beer to some rum.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a sprig of like mint.
Gotcha.
My fave drink.
So, 13's outfit. I need to talk about it because well, first of all, I was actually glad that this raincoat that she has was actually used as a raincoat. Huh?
But that it was a practical.
Yeah, like they actually used it as what it is. But what was going on under the raincoat?
I gotta be perfectly honest with you, Connie. I did not notice until you wrote it down. And then when I went back right before we started recording, I did notice, and it's a little weird. Mm-hmm. But like, I still wouldn't have. I don't.
Interesting.
I don't pay attention to the outfits. Like I like it when they get the outfit.
Yeah.
I notice it when the fit changes. I'll notice it.
Yeah.
But like I was shocked that she wasn't wearing the rainbow t-shirt. Has she not been wearing the rainbow t-shirt every episode?
She has, except for Spyfall, where she was wearing the suit version.
Yeah,
of
when
her outfit.
they changed into the suit.
Yeah.
So I think she's was like a one time that she changed her clothes.
Yeah. And so that's what stood out to me. So it wasn't like in Spyfall.
But it wasn't it wasn't a wardrobe change.
Right. It wasn't a wardrobe change. And so in Spyfall, her outfit, like the tuxedo matched her outfit. And so I really liked that idea. And I was just like, oh, they could just keep doing that and I would be satisfied. But this week it was sort of like, well, she has her coat, but then we're just going to put a random like studded vest underneath, which doesn't match her regular outfit, but also is only like half the era. It's just like they didn't really go. She was just like, well, it's raining, so let me put my raincoat on, but then never took the coat off for it to like have the effect of like having a costume change, I think. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I was just like bothered by it. It was very clashy. It was so clashy. Yeah. It was like the most I've been bothered by the doctor wearing anything maybe ever.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to have more to say on the subject, but honestly, you missed me completely.
Yeah,
Not
I usually
a fashion
don't.
girl over here.
Yeah, usually I don't notice that kind of thing that intensely, but it really bothered me this week. So basically, in this story, Percy Shelley goes missing during their little party. The house gets real spooky and haunted. Nobody can really go anywhere. They're going in circles. Perception filter shenanigans. And then the lone Cyberman shows up, which is the dude from Jack's Warning from a couple episodes ago. The Cybermen are back, and I guess, if we must.
You guess.
If we must.
Fine. I
didn't hate it this week. I usually really dislike Cybermen storylines, especially after, well, Bill's the last one, but I usually just have disliked them in general. And then after Bill, I was just like, y'all can choke.
yeah, F a Cyberman. I, recently was watching Star Trek and discovered, and I'm ashamed of this discovery, so I just need everyone who watches Star Trek to know that I'm ashamed that it took me this long, and it is definitely a me problem. How much the Cybermen are the Borg. And I feel like this is and when my brain went, oh my god, the Cybermen are the Borg, and I typed it in, there was so much stuff about the Cybermen being the Borg, I'm gonna upgrade you,
Which
you will
came
be
first?
assimilated. The Cybermen, I'm sure. I'm sure. I don't know. But so this episode, this Cyberman, he's half, his armor's half, just incomplete.
Yeah, I
But
couldn't
it also
tell if it
didn't
was
look
not.
it looked like it was falling apart.
Yeah, it was I couldn't tell if it was not finished or breaking down.
Or being destroyed.
Yeah. So I think it feels the way it was broken felt destroyed. I don't know, in Star Wars, I think the last one, someone, I don't remember who right now, smashed a stormtrooper's helmet, and it felt like someone had he'd been attacked in that way. That's what it felt like to me, versus they just never finished, which is what 13 was operating from.
Yeah. But it reminded me a lot of his look reminded me a lot of Jean-Luc as Borg, and also Seven of Nine when they were kind of breaking down her Borg parts into making her re-assimilating her back into humanity. I don't know the right word for that. But
You will be re-assimilated.
Yeah, but it was giving me Locutus of Borg / Seven of Nine vibes. And then I was I really thought we were going to go there, which is in both of those stories, basically they regain their humanity, but then we didn't go there. So I was
there was 5 seconds where it was going to happen, and I was just oh no.
Nope.
Very much no.
Yeah.
He has a heart. Oh, he really doesn't.
He really does
slit
not.
my
He
own
don't give a
children's
fuck.
throats. It's oh, jeez.
God, right. But yeah, I'm with you on the Cyberman thing. I have very much a no, thank you. They can all choke. I'm done with these storylines. Mostly because of Bill, but also we talked about the Bill and Danny back to back.
Yeah.
I'm just ugh, no. And also very much was he was don't get near Ryan. Don't touch him, don't look at him. Don't even think about it. But
Yep.
I also think that Cybermen is the only alien monster of the week type of thing that could do
Oh, yes.
this.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in how it's gonna go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I don't hate it so far, because it's not the
Yeah.
same you will be upgraded storyline, I think. So I appreciate the new way in which they're exploring what Cybermen can be after so many kind of similar enough storylines. And it may become that, but in this particular episode, it was perfect for the historical character of Choice, and you know, big cliffhanger. Like she's really 13 really screwed up with no choice but not to, no choice but to, but yeah, I'm interested mostly because it's just like we're finally getting to the meat of like all these like half hints that they've been giving of like the lone Cyberman and the timeless child and how all that interacts. So should be interesting. I think
we have like 2 more as next week. The first part one.
Yeah, part 1 of the 2-part finale. Ascension. I'm checking where I wrote it. Ascension of the Cybermen is the title. So we're really going there. Yeah. I think the Cyberium might be new. I forgot to look it up. But it felt new because the doctor didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, I think it is, hold on 1 second. It is a song by Ray.
Right, I was just like, nope, YouTube. This is not Cyberium Doctor Who. You gotta be specific with your search terms these days. Yeah, it feels like...
It feels new, though. Mm-hmm. The first thing I'm seeing...
is all about the lone Cyberman.
It's all about the lone Cyberman, so...
So that's cool. A liquid metal with the collective knowledge of the Cybermen. And it was like destroying Percy Shelley's brain. But the doctor could take it. And so she absorbed it for a hot second. And I'm like, does that not do nothing to her? Like, not that it would like have the same effect as Byron, but rather just some other effect of having this clearly toxic AI database in your brain.
Also another Star Trek thing. And I'm like upset because I don't know. Because I'm new to both. I don't know where they align. Because they're both long ass running shows. But
from almost the very same era.
Yeah. But in Star Trek Section 41, in the last season of Discovery, spoiler heavy, whatever, Section 31 is like basically like the Federation's like NSA or something, or CIA. And they have an AI that like becomes not sentient, but sentient. And they have to like shut it down. And I'm very interested in like how these things, like the similarities and the differences, because there's like there's such similar concepts,
right?
And they're like 2 of the biggest science fiction franchises,
right? And there's a ton of overlap between the
like,
fans and the creators, and I'm sure that one watches the other.
And so I'm like, I'm sure that it's going to be different,
right?
But like I'm excited because I'm like, this is like a big plot line in Discovery last season.
Yeah, and that's this is not like older Star Trek. This is like the new one.
No, this is new Star Trek.
Well then.
Yeah.
And yeah, speaking of Bill and Danny, but we don't really talk about Danny.
No.
It seemed like 13 was actually directly referencing Bill for the first time, which again, Deli and I mentioned that last week, and then they like did it, and I'm just like, I'm glad that they're like listening to our podcast from the past or whatever, but like see these things earlier. I'm still just like, y'all doing the things, but so late in the game.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is like it's nice that they are like that these things are happening, but it doesn't. But then our critiques are still valid because it still has taken too long.
Yeah,
and it's like it's too far to give it the growth that it deserves or needs.
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, I'm glad that like we're finally seeing this, but also, like, what took you so damn long?
Yep.
And we have 2 episodes left, so I'm scared that, like, the 2-part finale is going to be so full of stuff.
It will be. Mm-hmm.
It will be awful.
Right.
And hard to follow.
Yeah.
Because also,
so all the things that they've left till the last minute has to get packed in, and then they can't develop any of it.
And it has to get packed into, like, 20 minutes, because I need at least 25 good minutes of the master. Like,
I expect a master cliffhanger next week. Like, if we don't get a master cliffhanger and he's in the whole finale, like finale, I think then we also have to, like, there's so many reasons to roll up on Chibs, and, you know, he didn't kill the new black lady, he made her the doctor, so I'm just like, all right, you get a breathing moment here, but if the whole episode is just Sasha just gallivanting around, what are we here for?
I'm going to be here for a refund, to be honest. I'm going to need to speak to the manager. I was told by AppleCare
that we would get some prime Sasha Dewan.
I needs it, precious. Did I do that right? Is that correct?
I can't even.
I've spent a lot of time and emotion and, like, thirst on, like, 40 minutes of television.
Yeah.
And I need my payoff.
I think you did do that right. Yeah.
I also need, like, a good Yaz versus Master versus that, like, 13.
That would be delicious.
Like, what I want, honestly, this is going to sound awful, but we've already decided they're listening to us and have access to a TARDIS so they can go back and fix things.
Yeah.
I need a scene where Yaz is in the middle. She's looking scared. And the Master is reaching out a hand on one side saying, come with me. And the Doctor's reaching out a hand on the other side saying, come with me. And they're both looking fine. And she's like, oh.
What do I do?
What do I do?
Except we already know
and
what
she goes
does.
with the Doctor, obviously.
Because she wasn't checking.
Is a mass murdering,
I mean, it's the
crazy
master,
person,
but also, like, she wasn't checking for him when he was a soft boy. So, you know.
Right. She wasn't checking for him. But he's going to have that, like, steely look on his face. And he's going to be staring at her intensely. And his hand's going to be reaching out. And I'm going to be like, take his hand. But don't. Woo. I got excited.
I do want that. I would love that. That would be so great. And then Ruth, like, blows everything up. She just comes out of nowhere with her big gun. And Ruth walks in and is like, really? Yaz, you're going to go with El Crazy over here and Miss Lady who's all stripes and pants and don't reach. And then Yaz is like, you right. And then goes with Ruth. Yeah. It's like, I'm also the Doctor. So, like, whatever you like about her, you can like about me, too.
You got like about me.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Cybermen. Before we get to next week's episode, because we're clearly already there. Random fact that I learned on TV Tropes, Ashad is the first Cyberman to use an individual name in TV canon since their first appearance in The 10th Planet in Classic Who. Also, I couldn't help but think of DJ Khaled.
Someone said that, and I was like, not watching it yet. And I was like, what is happening in Doctor Who?
Couldn't help
this
it.
This is a talking point?
I couldn't help it.
But also
help it.
I mean, you know, it was right there.
It was right there. They laid it down. So this week...
What were you supposed to do?
What was I supposed to do? This week, we get to talk about 13. Like, 13... Jodie Whittaker is just out here. Like, she really is just acting. Like, really just bringing it. And just people who don't like her, just cause she's a girl.
Wrong.
Like, yeah, like, it's stupid because she's, like, bringing it. And, like, I feel like there are critiques to be made about we've spent many episodes talking about them, but Jodie is not any of the problems.
No.
She just gave her best Time Lord Victorious, and I was here. Ooh. I was here for it. Laying down the law and the rules. We finally
She
get to see some
said-
depth and some the Hufflepuff Badger 13 is great. I love that, obviously, because me. But like the depth that you get to see this week, I was like, this is also what I've been waiting for them to like actually address this elephant that's in the room.
Yeah. And I think too, like, we have been talking a lot about like the changes in 13. She's a bit crueler.
More of a hard edge.
Cruel is not it.
Hard
She's a bit
edged.
harder.
Yeah, harder.
Yeah, hard edge. She's a bit more like. I'm not even gonna say distant because she's not. Compartmentalized.
Yes.
Maybe is a better word.
Yeah.
And then this episode really like she like draws a line in the sand, and it very much is Time Lord Victorious, but it's also because y'all are 10 and I'm 11. I don't care.
I'm 11.
Oh, hey, what's up, girl? When what is the name of that? Now I'm missing it. It's Amy's first episode with the Starwell.
Oh.
And he's like, I have to do it because y'all suck. And I don't want to do it.
He says
but I'm
exactly
left
that.
with no good choices.
Yeah, he says exactly that. Because y'all suck.
That's what he said. He was like, humans stay giving me crappy choices. Like,
Yes.
what else am I supposed to do? And I do think that, like, we talked about this. I mean, showrunners, like, valid critiques of showrunners aside, the casting director for Who, and the showrunners too, they know how to cast a goddamn doctor.
Yeah.
I did not like the vast majority of Capaldi's run. I'm still upset because of a lot of the storylines that happened during Capaldi's run.
Yeah.
But one of my main, like, gripes about it is that they wasted Capaldi because there were moments after moment after moment in which I was like, yeah, he's the doctor.
Yeah.
He's
sure.
just doing dumb shit. He's just in these stupid,
Stories.
He's these stupid stories, but like he was definitely like on point, and I wanted to see him shine in like something good.
Yeah.
And like, so I haven't seen, there hasn't been in New Who a doctor I do not like.
Right.
Like an actor who I was like, doesn't do it for me. Doesn't get the doctor thing. The Tenet special where there's two doctors and it's like David Morrissey or Richard Morrissey or whatever.
The next doctor? Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, I hate that guy as the doctor. I'm like, he's not the doctor. You don't give me doctor vibes. I don't buy it in the slightest.
Right. There's no reason for you to even think that it's the doctor.
Think that he was, yeah.
Much less I know it's not. Like, in the end, like, that's the point, is that he's not. But there's no reason for the doctor to be like, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
The war doctor was the doctor. Like, he came out of nowhere and was a whole different characterization. I was still like, that's the doctor.
That's the doctor. I buy it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like, they're really good at that.
Ruth. Freaking Ruth. Like,
Ruth.
the doctor. Yeah, you right.
Immediately. You right. You know what you're talking about. She didn't even have a screwdriver. Did she have a screwdriver? She's like, I don't need that.
She doesn't do screwdrivers.
I don't do that.
It's like, that's what you're working with? Yikes.
Okay, girl. If it makes you happy, fine. Yeah, but I think that, like, there have been so many moments in which Jodie Whittaker has proven over, like, she can play this role. She can play the hell out of this role. And you can quibble with what they have her doing. You can quibble with, I mean,
because I think it could be stronger.
You can't quibble with the representation because it's, like, stupid. I mean, you can, but I'm going to tell you to shut up.
Yeah.
But you can't say, if you're saying that she is not good in this role, you were saying I'm a bigot.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sexist trash and
just use less words to say that you just use less words and say you're a bigot. It's cool.
Just tell us you hate women and get it over with.
Get it over with.
And, like, do you see Jodie? Like, she put her hands through her hair, and I was just like, wow, she did that as the doctor. Okay.
That, like, frustrated, I don't know why I like y'all. I don't know why I spend so much time with y'all. I tricked myself. I played myself again. I thought you weren't trash. The look she gave Ryan.
Yeah. Just, like, under her lids, like.
She was like, did she... See, every time I think...
That they get it.
Y'all done done something.
They don't get it.
2 seconds ago, you were making me all proud with your anti-gun stance, and then here you are. Like...
Kill the poet? Bruh. I need you to not.
Who said that you could make that decision?
Man, when we get to quotes from the TARDIS, but y'all know the line. I was just like, wow, the writing. I had to pause. I paused it in the middle of the speech because I was like, bars. I literally had to pause it like 2 times in the middle of her giving the speech because I was like, that's it. It can't be more. It's more.
She got it.
Wow.
She doing that thing.
She doing that doctored speech thing, but like the angry kind. And not the humans are so great kind. Or definitely not the save the planet kind.
Yeah.
But the reason she says this is because Ryan's like, why don't we just murk this dude?
Let him go. Sacrifice him.
It's like, I don't understand. We could just let him die.
Yep.
Ryan, come on.
I mean,
he's not wrong.
I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it.
Yeah, you're just like, I mean, I guess I'm going to be the one to step up.
I'm going to be the one. We all thinking it though, right? Like, he can go.
Which is the trolley problem on acid, because it's like, the trolley problem is just like, let this one guy die because a bunch of people will die if we don't kill him. Because, everything goes back to the good place in 2020 for me. But it's time travel. So it's like, but this one dude who was super famous affects like the splinter of like everyone who ever read his work or like comes after him. And it's just like, oh no. Which is like a classic Doctor Who problem, obviously.
I'm gonna be real honest, and I was like low-key agreeing with Ryan. I'm not agreeing with Ryan because I fundamentally don't believe in that like idea of like anyone can be sacrificed. But I was like, I mean, I know who Mary Shelley is. I didn't really know that her husband wrote anything. So I don't know who he inspired like that, but
yeah, I was a little bit like, I get the point. And you're not wrong, but like, would Ryan not exist? Ryan might still exist.
Yeah, Ryan would be good.
Graham might not. Maybe Graham wouldn't exist. But like Ryan, you'd probably be fine.
So, yeah. But I'm kidding. Don't sacrifice people. Captain America said we don't do that.
That's right.
He said we don't trade lives here.
We don't trade lives.
Yeah, so
the trolley problem don't work in this case because both sides are billions of people. But even despite like this tension with 13, they still are just like, yeah, we'll come with you at the end. And I was just like, I mean, I appreciate it, but we ain't gonna interrogate that she just like reprimanded y'all in front of y'all.
And she just demoted you.
Demoted.
Y'all all got demoted.
Dang, they all got demoted. Me and Dahlia last week were talking about how, like, there are kind of seeds of some of the fam probably leaving the TARDIS. Hopefully not Yaz, probably Ryan.
Probably Ryan. I'm not okay.
I know. But it's
interesting. I'm okay.
Is a thing that I think
I would love to see Tosin. Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine.
I was just saying, I'm only okay because I would love to see Tosin doing other things, but I also think he could multitask, dude. He could do other things and be on TARDIS. He's got it. He was at Galley this weekend. We were not, but our friends were, and he sounds delightful. He deserves whatever he wants. And apparently him and Ty Gooden go together now. Just to completely embarrass her on this podcast, but also because, like, that picture of them was
It was
stupid.
Great. It was great.
I was like, I'm offended on my own behalf. Both of y'all ain't got to come at me like this.
You know, our friends just doing great things at Galley, hosting panels and like talking to doctors and companions. You know, it's chill. Whatever.
And also some of them just being literally couthless. But that's fine as well. Also in as well. You know who you are.
You know who you are. Y'all probably know who we talking about, but it's
who we
fine.
talking
Put 'em
about?
on blast.
At Black TARDIS.
Anyway, go check the Galley One hashtag for our friends. Because we were not there.
Anyway, so Graham is seeing actual ghosts. Did he feel like he was like losing a step? And I don't know if this was on purpose or not, but I was like, did Graham got dementia? Like, what's going on?
No.
Like the way he said he had to go to the bathroom,
like
the way he was kind of bumbling around.
Yeah, he's just like eating snacks. I think he's gonna be like, it's time for me to go lay down.
Yeah, like, but
this has been fun.
Did that seem like a choice? Like a
yeah. I can't tell what it is because it's been. I guess it has been increasingly like he's just not. He doesn't know how to do anything. Like nothing. Like he doesn't contribute anything but jokes. And like maybe grandfatherly wisdom, but not really.
Yeah, I was like
like, who are you seeing, bro? Like, because the doctor who has done that before, like this idea of like the doctor can solve anything, like can answer any like mysterious question with science, but then there's always just like but what if it's not? But like, that was a lot. It was like a lot to see those two, and then they had nothing to do with the rest of the story. It's not even like they're people Graham knew. Yeah. For it to like tie into some other storyline or something. And I was just like, okay.
And then just the way he acted it too, he acted it like he wasn't okay. Like he was. Like, I feel like if Yaz had seen some people that she wasn't supposed to see or that no one had mentioned again, like, she would be like, oh, like, even when we did the, whatever, she got on that platform and transported herself like a dummy, she was very much in control. Yeah. You know? And, like, Graham just seeing folk, and I still don't know if those people were real or not, but he was very much not in control. Yeah. Like, he got shaken. And I'm just...
They gave him food, though, so he was just like, well, I guess this is where I am now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Guess we're doing
Snaps.
this.
Is he a Hufflepuff?
Oh, unfortunately. He might be our bumbling professor.
Yeah.
Head of Hufflepuff House. Now it's time to talk about Yaz.
Yes! Are they doing this? I feel like they're doing this.
I feel like they're doing it, but like episode 8. Give it to me
faster.
Episode 8.
Yeah.
We could have seeded this way long ago.
Season 1, episode 1.
Yes, absolutely. But even just this season, it could have been 3 or 4. Episode 5.
Yeah, it could have been part 2 of Spyfall.
Yes.
When the master, or part 1 when the master was trying to holla.
He really was.
And Yaz said, sorry, man.
I have a
my interests lie elsewhere. And then a lingering look at the doctor.
But not even the lingering look. It could just be like, my feelings are elsewhere, and then cut it. And then now this week, it would just be like, oh, well, I'm clearly like in love with this person like you are. And then they could have, like, there's a way to slow build it without it being like one moment and then next week a thing, which might be what happens. We don't know yet, obviously, but
yeah,
there are just ways.
Like that's what's happening.
Yeah, like there's just no time for it to be anything other than like, boom, we're doing this. And obviously there's other seasons, and if Yaz is staying, which I think she might and hope she does, there's more time to develop it afterwards. But there still could have been like little seeds that weren't like the fandom just grasping at gifts of them like looking at each other, because that's not a thing. That's not you making a conscious choice to put it in the show. That's actors look at each other sometimes. And like fandom is built on that a lot of times. But, you know, we do that with any two characters.
Yeah, but then that is fandom, and that's
choice,
not like canon,
yeah,
well thought
make
out.
A purposeful choice. You could just
Yeah.
see it earlier. See her talking to her sister, or like the stuff with, you know, her sister and her, you know, depression and stuff. Like, why are the kids teasing you at school? Like, what is it about that makes you so whatever? And just like hint at it just a little bit stronger. But they might be doing it.
I do also want to just fundamentally like state for the record, because I don't want like the next season for y'all to be like, you're so hypocritical. Fundamentally, I dislike when companions or anyone has a crush on the Doctor, because I just don't think that's cool. Like, the age difference alone. I do believe in like once you're consenting and 9,000, just like 9,000 something years is just a ridiculous thing, and you might as well just be 40, because like I just can't compute.
Yeah, that's just not.
Yeah, and like vampires need love too.
And that's
but I don't. Huh?
I said that's where my stance is. I'm just like, I don't generally like it, but on this show, but you know.
Yeah, but on this show, I don't like it because I don't like how there's a power dynamic situation. Like, I love the Doctor as professor and the Doctor companion as professor and student, and that's why I liked River's song a lot, because she wasn't really a companion, and they were able to put her on like more of a level. Yeah, and like so they were more on like a level playing field.
Yeah.
And she would like travel with them, but like she wasn't being introduced to the universe through this person or by this person or whatever. I don't know how that syntax is actually supposed to go. So just so you know, I'm excited because Yaz is queer, and because we're gonna get lingering looks, and the fan art's gonna be top notch. But next season, when I'm complaining about how I don't like Yaz and the Doctor flirting or whatever.
Gotcha.
And then when Yaz eventually leaves and there's a whole rose, this is the time I die, I'm gonna be annoyed. I'm gonna hate it.
Fair.
In this moment, I'm very excited.
Yeah. I was just like, I guess, about Rose and the Doctor. And then I was just like, ugh, no, when it was like the kept
Martha?
teasing. No, not even. I'm skipping straight to Amy, because like the Martha thing is the whole can of worms on its own. And then the Amy thing, I was just like, okay, are we really doing this again? And part of that is because of the Martha being like, this is the third time now. Thought we'd had, found something going with Donna here. And then Clara changed by the day.
Ooh, Clara didn't know who she was. Poor girl.
But I feel like, it's just, it would work for me. But also, I'm sure the Doctor never, unless it's River, like, is in a relationship with the companions on their own behalf. So I think it'll just be, like you said, lingering looks and angst. And that'll be delicious. It's like, but I can't do this with you. But you can. And all that jazz. So that would be fun.
But I will be totally here for the Doctor helping Yaz open up, and then Yaz finding some hot space alien girl.
Bring back
traveler
Bill
from the future. Bring back Bill. Who? Yes.
Yeah.
Good Lord, yes. Mm-hmm. That would break me in the most delicious, lovable way.
It's like, sorry, me and my oil friend, we're on the outs right now.
We sold our house. The club closed.
The clubbing. My knees hurt.
My knees hurt. She just wanted to continue the club, and I was like, girl.
It's like, you are an oil person. I am human being, and I'm aging, and I just need to settle down with someone who understands my life.
I want to get a dog.
Yeah.
I want to adopt a puppy. Mm-hmm. And go for long walks.
Yeah.
And hold hands. Oh, God.
Robin, are you talking about Bill and Yaz, or you and the Master?
Both hands?
So yeah, we're watching this space as they kept telling us to see what happens next week with Yaz and her person. She has a person. That's all we know so far. And I made a joke. And I was like, it's going to be real hilarious when it's Graham. And then people on Twitter were like, God. Connie, no. And I was
thinking that it was Ryan. I was like, I'm going to be so upset when it's Ryan. And that's why she didn't want to give him her sister's number.
Right.
Yada, 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 yada.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense. Like, no, the context, like, I feel like they could bait and switch us back to that. I feel like they could. But it would be even worse than it being, like, something completely different. Because, one, Ryan isn't some enigmatic, like, you know.
He really isn't. He is so straightforward.
And then, even in that episode.
Chopsticks. Like, come on. He is.
Even in that episode, they're on the stairs, and. They were on the stairs, and Ryan was just like, something's touching me. Yaz is like, that's my elbow, you idiot.
Me. I'm touching you. And I wasn't even trying to be slick about it. Like, my arm needed to go somewhere.
I was like, there's no way she's talking about Ryan.
I feel like Yaz would just be like, Ryan, I'm taking you out. No more caffeine. You know?
Yeah.
We're changing. It's like very much with them right now. It's like a very loving, but...
They're siblings.
Big... sibling relationship, mm-hmm. And so
I think they
wouldn't want that to happen, but I was like, they could do it.
They could do it, but it would be dumb. Annoyed. It would be so dumb. Bad. It would be such a bad choice. So I'd honestly rather it be Graham.
No. I will also write. No.
At least they're doing something new. He's sad, you know. He's been negging her. They haven't spoken all season.
They really haven't.
They haven't spoken all season, crazy. And that's why I was just like, it's gonna be Graham.
She's too awkward around Graham.
Right. She can't talk to him. He's, not talking to her. He's negging her. So she's just like...
so hot.
Jack thinks so.
Makes him nervous. Oh, my God. I hate it.
Let's move on to Ryan rants and raves.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than Ryan playing chopsticks. There's nothing better.
Can we just, talk about Tosin Cole's comedic timing?
It's
and this
perfect.
Is why I'm saying I'm not happy if he leaves, but I'm not mad at it to see what his other projects will be. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I still think, dude, multitask.
Give us a couple comedies here and there.
A lot of people work multiple jobs, okay?
Yeah.
Lots of them.
Yeah.
So I'm not... he's so good.
He's so funny.
Physically...
Without being...
Reaction shots. He doesn't have to say anything.
Right. And without it being, super slapstick or,
no.
So on the nose.
It's so realistic. It's, literally the dude... I work with this dude who's a weirdo, a lovable weirdo, where he just, says things and you're like, what? And you can't help but, smile when you see him. To the point that when I started working there, everyone was like, uh-oh, be careful with this guy. He's a character. Everyone just knows. And, Ryan gives me that vibe. If you worked in a shop with him.
Oh, yeah.
You would just find yourself, looking over to see where he is and what he's doing because you know it's going to make you chuckle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
If he's...
It's he's on shift. It's oh, this is going to be a good shift.
Good shift. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's stocking shelves and he's doing a little dance or something. You know what I mean? He's, asking customers, the weirdest questions. It's such a realistic humor and, physicality. It's, chef's kiss. It's
because I feel we always talk about how much we hate Nardole, but the point of Nardole was, this comic relief type character. But it was so overly done and, look how funny this is. Look, he's being funny. And this next line, it's really funny. But, Ryan doesn't need that. It's just so subtle. while being laugh out loud hilarious. Like, I think I paused when he was playing chopsticks. I was like, is that Ryan playing chopsticks? And then they like showed his brown hands and I was just like, I can't. And I had to pause it and then come back to it. And he's like sitting there at the piano, like trying it again. And she's just like, where is this song from?
Yeah.
It was so good. Like there are a lot of moments like that this week. Like when he's about to pop off on Polidori, I was just like, boy, God, seriously.
The whole like duel thing.
10 dual commandments. Had to get
10 dual commandments. But like when Polidori says duel and then Ryan, or when he says like let's go and then Ryan's like go, you know what I mean? They're like duel. Ryan's face with the recognition of like, oh, bro wants to shoot me. It's like, so he goes to this like, it's literally like a Swaggy P head tilt and like a what? And then like a what? Like who? Like, is this like confusion and then like offendedness? Like offendedness is out of word.
Yeah. Let's go with it. It's fine.
Okay. Like he's like, he goes from confused to offended, like
right, and then Polidori's
all
like
on his face.
And then Polidori's like, this guy's gonna be your second, and Graham was like, no, and he's just like,
no,
really?
He was like, and then he was like, damn, you real useless. This is why I leave your ass.
This is why I left you. Yeah. So good. Also, Ryan gets to talk about Grace this week, and I was just like, wow, they really listening. 8 episodes late.
And like in a way that is. And like in a way that I think is like really great because it's not I lost my gran and she had such great things to say. It's just really like oh, my gran always said this thing.
Yeah.
And like just like in a way in which it's like, okay, he's no longer actively grieving. Mm-hmm. But she was a huge part of his life, so there are moments that you're just going to think about your grandmother and like the things that she said to you or you know, like whatever, like, and you're going to mention her, and you know what I mean?
Like, literally, this is the first time he's mentioned her since last season.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy, considering Graham has mentioned it, like, 3 times.
Yeah. But also, always, Grandma, and this is the thing, Graham always mentions Grace in relation to how he's feeling. Mm-hmm. Like, Ryan just literally just was, like, thinking about her.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah. It was so great. And then really just Ryan being ready to sacrifice Shelley, because he's just like, listen... The options are out. What else we gonna do?
I know math. I understand. I understand math.
Yeah.
I love too that they gave it to Ryan because he is the youngest of them, right? Yeah, he's the youngest one.
I guess he and Yaz are the same age.
Really? Because she's a cop. But I mean, I get it.
They were in class together. That's how they know each other.
Okay. So they're the same age.
Yeah, I guess because she's a trainee or whatever. Maybe there's no like secondary school situation, so
maybe. I don't think you have to go to college to be a cop, which is an issue, but whatever. I mean, I don't think you should have to go to college. I don't know. Anyway, that's a different podcast.
You just cut that out.
We'll just cut that out. But yeah, so I like that they give it to Ryan because of his youth. Mm-hmm. Like, even though he has been traveling with the doctor, and we see with Polidori, like, he has a better sense of, like, the doctor's kind of, like, lines in the sand type of thing, and red lines, and like still he's like, okay, but still the bath. Like,
and it wouldn't make sense coming from
we don't pull, you know, and it just wouldn't.
Was Graham even there?
I don't think Graham is even there.
I don't think Graham was there, so really Ryan's the option.
Graham's still looking for a bathroom. But yeah, it just like it was great. Because he also does it in such a way, like, because Ryan's such a sweetheart goofball, it's harsh, but it's not malicious.
Right. Yeah. He's
you know what I mean?
Literally, like, the math says that this is what we need to do to solve this problem.
It's Ron Weasley in the book saying, do we kill them now? Versus Ron Weasley in the movie being like, we got to kill these fools. You know what I mean? It's a difference.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, quotes from the TARDIS.
Yeah.
So, that was marvelous. Anyone up for, I don't know, spitballing here? How about writing the most gruesome, spine-chilling ghost story of all time?
No? We just want to, you want to dance again? Not with Byron, no thank you.
No, thank you. Yeah, I've been like, this bitch just broke her own rule. You just said. She's like, well, we need to move things along, you know?
You know? Sometimes
time is money.
Money is pizza. This enigmatic person of yours, would you trade them for reliable and dull? My person's different.
She's talking about their team.
Talking about the doctor. But also the answer is no.
No.
She would not trade that. She is ready to be out here, not reliable and exciting.
When she said that line,
jumping into portals.
Speaking of like good place stuff, when she said that line, I went, not a person, not a girl.
Oh my gosh, the doctor is really a Janet. Truly a Janet. And also just like, can I fall in love? I don't know. Let's try it. Very much the doctor.
We'll see what we can do. Because sometimes the team structure isn't flat. It's mountainous, with me at the summit in the stratosphere, alone, left to choose. Save the poet, save the universe, watch people burn now or tomorrow. Sometimes even I can't win.
Bars!
And then, like, Lin-Manuel Miranda was like, I am not the...
Bars.
You know?
She said, I think I paused it in the middle of the sentence. It is mountainous with me at the summit. I paused it because I was like...
And then the chorus, whoa,
Also, Save the Poet, Save the Universe is from Heroes. Just Save the Cheerleader, Save the World.
Wait, what?
They stole that from Heroes. Save the Poet, Save the Universe is just Save the Cheerleader, Save the World.
Save the World.
From Heroes.
Oh my God. Why did you do that to me, Constance?
That's what it was. That's what it was.
I didn't need that connection
That's it,
at
but
all.
that's what it was. Go ahead. You were saying something.
When there's a doctor monologue like that, I'm always like, for your consideration.
BAFTAs, take a note.
Yeah, that was this is being submitted. Mm-hmm. This clip, this episode,
like,
here you go. There were a few of those with Capaldi.
Right.
And I was like, he can only win so many BAFTAs, guys. Like,
but sometimes it's
chill.
one of those where it's just like they wrote this so that they could be considered for awards. I get it. And then sometimes you're just like, no, this is perfect. Like that line was perfect because it is a culmination. And again, I wish they'd done more with like the tension between her and the fam so that when it does come to this moment, it's like, it's a big deal and a shock, but it's sort of like they did something with it before it because it's just like, no, I think even a couple episodes ago, she referenced it again, like, this team structure is very flat. But it's just like, they've had this running thing this whole time, and she's just like, no, it is mountainous is just a really good word, especially in that, really like, is. In the way, and like, in that context, and then the way she said it, Jodie's accent, Jodie is just doing the thing, acting.
Actor.
Anyway.
Bars.
That was step 1. What's step 2? Fix the mess I created in step 1. Welcome to Doctor Who.
Right? It was like I got a plan moment.
Yes, but
it was an I got a plan line.
Oh, and there is one, isn't there?
There's a plan line, I think, too.
Yeah.
But but this one it stood out more to me.
Yeah.
It was very much like, and if you wanted to know what the show was about, here it is
in one line. And I just got to fix the mess that I just created. Yep, that's it. But yeah, I do. And I like that it is like the opposite of a plan line where it's just like, well, that plan didn't go very well. Time to come up with a new plan.
Right. Graham, I think I'm seeing dead people.
Because, like, he
all
was
right,
like,
sense.
Yeah, he was there.
Is Graham okay?
Does he have dementia?
Can someone go check on him?
They're going to forget him. He's going to be like, I was at home this whole time. And they're like, oh.
He's going to forget them. They're going to have to start writing notes on them.
No.
Like, I'm just... What's happening? He looks so lost. He was so lost. He was in a different episode altogether. They were dealing with Frankenstein, and he was like, I don't know what he was doing. I don't know where he was.
He doesn't either. He saw some lady and
he
her
didn't
child.
know either. It was.
Oh my goodness. We are inevitable. which, you know, Ashad also saw Avengers Endgame. It was just like, I gotta go back to 1816, but first, let me just pop into this theater real quick in 2019.
Like, listen,
I too am a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I committed 10 years to the MCU. Just because I got upgraded right before Endgame came out didn't mean I wasn't gonna finish that.
Right, you know. He had things to do. Cybermen like movies too.
And they get them direct. They don't even go into the theater because they got that, like...
The Siberium.
No, I was thinking about, like, the jailbroken, like... a jailbroken Cyberman.
He is jailbroken. That's exactly what it is.
They got that bootleg.
Yeah, but it's like a
theaters, but I got it.
HD quality. Like, it's HD quality, though. So...
Yeah.
He saw every
4K quality
moment of that. Mm-hmm. That's where he got the lightning idea from Cap and the Hammer.
Yep. Boom. We solved it. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. Check us out at blackgirlscreate.org. Follow us on Twitter at WeBlackandNerds, at Robin_Ravenclaw, and at Constar24. Use the hashtag Harvest and let us know your thoughts about this episode and Yasmin, or Yasteen, or Thasmin.
Mm-hmm.
I said that wrong. Thasmin, Yasteen.
Yasteen works, but Thasmin just really, like, hits.
I disagree, but okay. But let us know your thoughts anyway. Share gifts of Ryan with us.
Yes.
And where do you think the master is? What is he doing right now? More importantly, what is he wearing right now? Just kidding. Just kidding.
Rate and review us two ridiculous people on iTunes and where your podcasts are found, if you can review there. You can also become a Patronus. We have Patronus perks, not chirps. Patronus perks for all sorts of things, but if you donate $25 per month or more, you get Tarbus bonus episodes where we'll recap Classic Who. Not this month because it's Black Wizard History Month, but you know, at some point.
What is time?
What is time? Also,
Wibbly
don't forget we have Tarbus t-shirt. You could get our Time Relative Blackness in Space shirt over at DFTBA.
Also, shout out to Caitlin.
Yeah.
Who was rocking the Tarbus tee at Galley 1.
Yeah.
Looking fly. And I'm also, again, Caitlin, Ty, everyone in our community that was at Galley. Just, you didn't have to do me like that. I'm already there.
But go buy our shirt.
Yeah. Our shirt is brilliant.
Because apparently someone
well.
else was wearing it at Galley. And if that was you and you listened to us, please send us a picture. Because Caitlin said that they couldn't get the picture. So, like, please show us. Thanks. We love when we see you on our merch.
How you doing?
Okay, Joey.
Tarbus is a part of Hard Knock Media. We've joined the Nerds of Color podcast network, including the podcast Hard Knock Life, Southern Fried Asians, DC TV Classics, Ask Spy Girls, Daisy Geek Girls, We're Not All Ninjas, and That Moment. You can check out all of these podcasts at hardknockmedia.com. That's hardknockmedia.com.
Once again, thank you for listening. We'll be back next week for Doctor Who episode 1209, Ascension of the Cybermen, which is part one of the two-part finale. Let's hope that we get
part one of Master.
Yeah, like let's hope we get Master. We have to get Master, Ruth, and Jack. Like, how do they not have room for all of this? I'm concerned.
And Thasmin.
And Gallifrey. Like, we gotta figure out something with Gallifrey.
Dude, it's too much.
It's a lot going on.
So much is happening.
That's why it's a two-part finale, but...
we gotta get all of that, plus the 14 other characters that go into
Exactly! Exactly. So,
it's a lot.
Get your brains working, and we'll see you then.
Bye!
The black girls have the box.